Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is MAG-23 by Historic Wings, designed by Thomas Van Hare. Thomas, sorry if I mispronounce your name. I have a tendency to butcher names. This is an overview of the updated module because there's a lot changed, and I want to have a better video attached with it. So I have opened my latest save game so I can better show how some of this stuff is working. Um, some of the major changes is I've cleaned up the toolbar button yet even more. And I've added some more things to the drop-down lists for the logs, various logs, and I also added, and we'll get to it later, a random pilots button up here for all the random pilots because that was something that absolutely irritated me, and that's nothing against the game. It's just me because I lack imagination. I wanted something structured to go ahead and choose a random pilot for whatever flight got affected, and of course you're not going to have a die 19 or anything sitting around, so I just went and put that in there. So let's go ahead and start. First four are actually basic controls for um, Vassal, so I don't worry about them pieces. We have Japan, planes, land, and naval for all you need. And for some reason, guys, if you're playing on Vassal and you do not see, and it's not going to do it now, maybe they fixed that in one of the latest things, and you do not see and you're in the counters palette, and you don't see but one piece or something. If ever you see this little dotted border right here that I'm showing, um, this is just pull that over because that means there's a menu sitting over there, and I don't think it's going to do it to me. But anyway, for the U.S., we have the four different aircraft types all available down here. You just pull them out onto the map as you need them. Game counters, you shouldn't really need these. I think I have all these built into the game property, but they're there just in case. And random events. I made these counters up because I tend to forget things, and maybe you guys too. The DSCs, my intention with all of these, of course, I'm going to record, so all of a sudden my nose is going to start draining, I'm sure, um, is to try to grab these counters and use that, put them somewhere so that you'll remember. So, say you roll the DSC for your highest rated guy, and right now my highest rated guy is Price. So I would drag my DSC over here. Maybe I put that on Price's name right here, and just in case I put Price on there, just so I know I can keep it around. And actually, I can even put that down here somewhere, just so I have it there as a reminder that I have that to use. Oops, if I get my brain together. Lucky break, same thing. You get to roll that somewhere. You can put that anywhere. Some of these I suggest putting on something you're going to use every day, such as the log. As you see, I have Semper Fi Mac up here already to give me one extra that I can re-roll any die roll once, and then I'll just delete that. Medal of Honor, same as DSC. Runway improvement. Um, what I did with that, I had that actually on one of my, which is what prompted me to put this in there, was you get this, it's runway improvements +2 for the next 5 days. So if I'm on the 25th, I'm going to put that over here, and I'm going to put um, until 30th on there. And then I'll block the 31st. So I just kind of, just stupid little reminders because I need all the reminders I can get. So there you have it. That's what that is. Semper Fi Mac, you already saw that. Showtie Supreme, that's going against us. You can use that the same as you would the Semper Fi Mac. Just to remind you that they get a re-roll. I forget exactly what Showtie Supreme is, but it's not good if I remember right. That's the pieces. Your regular D1, D6s. The dice mat, I only went with 9 dice. I have had opportunity to use more, and I just kind of split them up a little bit if I can. It was a matter of room and um, practicality, I guess is what you call it. So I like the way this worked out. This is Clifton's dice mat off of BGG, and you just select the amount of dice you're going to use. Actually, I do want to go in here maybe and put a roll dice button up there, but I didn't. I guess it's not that important. And then just select all these that you want to roll and roll all the dice, and then you can sort them out. So if you have an F4F, that would be your attacks, your defense rolls, and if you're up against zeros, they'd have one attack and no defense. So you would have definitely knocked 2 zeros out of the sky, and you would have defended all attacks on you. So, and when you're done, you just hit clean up and put them all back up for the next round. I did like that. I like the way that turned out. The random pilots, you're just going to go in here. It's usually going to be one dice, so you don't need to change that. But I left it changeable just in case. And say if I'm going to be rolling for BMF 223, there's 19 pilots here. I'll just go ahead and put 19 in here and roll it, and that's going to be my number 6 pilot is going to be um, injured or ill or whatever the randomness is that's calling for it is. So I put that in there just kind of to help things. And notes, always like to have notes in there so you guys can put notes down. The victory chart, nothing's changed there. Add U.S. victory, you add Japanese victory, and you do that after every week. Cleanup will send it back to the middle. It has not moved on mine yet. Operations. I put all the operations charts into one big header here, just kind of clean things up a little bit. So if we got air operations, land operations, and sea operations, and you just go over to either the operations chart or the combat map. So right now I'm on an air operation. I'm just setting that up. So I've decided to hit them at close range. So we got the phase marker there. My cap and my um, strike are going to be hitting the bombers here real soon. And then I go operations and air combat map, and I'll pull that out. As you see, I already have my bombers in here. I'm not my bombers, my fighters in here. I like to name my guys. I probably do this more than I do the counters, but I got flight leader price and sellers in here. This way I don't have no doubt as to who's doing what. And so I'll just drag my Japanese on here and do my battle. And so I'm done. And the last but not least is the logs. And the logs I'm real happy with. I'm in the middle of the 25th, as you see. This is really cool. You can put it, I did bring down the font a little bit to allow for more text to be added. I'm not much of a writer. I envy those that do write up good AARs. I'm not one of them. I do lack imagination when it comes to that, but I I like to make modules, so that's my strength, and everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Um, anyway, I'm on clear weather. My runway has 1 damage. That's going to be a +1 to my takeoffs and landings, which I've already paid the price, and we'll see that when I get to the next menu. And not bad though. I've done worse. I got my intel came in. It's actually good intel. I've got an intel of Kates and roofs inbound. I sent out 10 F4Fs to intercept at close range. And of course, I had 2 planes minor crash. We haven't had enemy ops or medical yet. That happens at the end of the turn. This, when you hit the next day, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to erase all this, it'll clear all this out and open you up for the next day. And then it'll advance um, the circle to the next date. You can also retard that 1 day if you make a mistake back and forth. You can manipulate it, just put it that way. And what I tend to do, and let me get this together off screen here, is I save them as PNGs, which are automatically PNGs anyway, but VASSAL sometimes doesn't add the extension on them for you, so you got to do that yourself. I'm getting my act together offline. I don't want to take you guys through my whole directory. I name a folder games, and then I save them right here along with my save games. So let's see, on the 21st, I had 2 missions. So my first mission, that was a bust because of the wind gusts. I didn't send anybody up, and so we took a loss on that one. And then my next one was a lot better. We had an air mission. We gone up against 9 Kates and 6 roofs, and we did knock a bunch of them out. All the bombers and then 3 zeros on that one, so we got a win on that one. So this is the idea. As you see up here, the circles moving, and this is my last few missions. You can see there I did some kind of a change because my looks like my font went to non-bold. I keep changing things as I go along and play, and this is my current, my last one, the current one used. As you see, things didn't go quite as well on that one, but we still had wins. Put all your information on there. That's your daily log, and that's this button right up here. You can also, for those of us that have bad eyes, you can actually make them. I put the artwork big. This is 100% right there. You can also make them very big if you need to. Oh boy, undo that. As my best friend is the undo button, and I can always not save. The next logs, aircraft and fuel log. All this is selectable and fillable. It's not automatic. You just got to manually input it, but it'll let you know what you're putting in. And if you ever need to restart this, and I don't recommend it, you hit cleanup. You shouldn't need to do that if you're starting a new game. You're going to end up just starting a new game anyway, but it's there if you need it. Campaign tracking sheet. This is the I made this. It's optional, but I like it, so I put it all in as one. As you can see right now, we've got a draw because we had the 2 operations, 1 win and 1 loss, and then we got 3 wins after that. We did take a destroyer out. Haven't lost a lot of aircraft yet, but I have played. This is my 3rd campaign start as I've been trying to mold this module into something I'm really happy with, which is what usually happens. I'm not happy with it until I've played a few games through on it to get the real feel for what's in there and what needs to be done and what you can do with it. So I think we've got it pretty well fine-tuned now. Next is the VMF logs or pilot logs. And as you can see, let's see, this here is 75%. I'm going to knock that up to 100%. Everything in here is selectable, except obviously when they're not arrived yet. But as soon as they arrive, you can start putting everything in. So again, I have a cleanup in here, which is going to wipe everything out. I don't recommend using it, but it's there. We have your tallies up here for kills, and on the right is going to be air kills, on the left is going to be ground kills, and those will be automatic. When you put a kill down here in the cell, it's going to tally it up top here in groups of 5. You see Price, he is now an ace. Oh, I'm glad I did that because that reminds me now that I've got to go into my air operations and make Price an ace because I forgot to do that. That's going to make a difference. He is now an ace, and I separated it to as per Thomas's recommendation for easy counting, and he is correct. It does make it easy to just glance up there and see whether they're ace, double ace, or not. So it'll do that for both ground and air kills. For each cell, you can go in and actually, I want to do this on a page that I can clear out. So get you guys a good chance to see this. You can see to my guys that have crashed on takeoff and landing. Notes wise, there's not a lot of them on this one, but you can put bailout over land, bailout over sea. I put nav B in there. I got that off of BGG on Thomas's log. Not quite sure what that means. I use it as a naval hit. So I know who's dropping hits on ships. An AAA's in there. I'm not quite sure what that's used for because I'll tally that under a ground hit if they take that out. But I put it in there, and those may expand as the time goes on as I get more um, notes that I could put in there. Otherwise, you can always add a note. Let's go to another page so I don't mess up my current one. Well, let's go check out 232 and the 67th real quick because there is some things on here. These guys have had some nav Bs. As you see, I'm using them as my naval hits. These guys all had naval hits, and over here on my 400s, Baker got shot down over the sea. He has a light wound, and he's still listed as MIA. The S over here and SR, that's search and rescue. For each cell, um, you can add a ground kill, which if you add a ground kill, it's what I was saying earlier, we'll right up here, we'll add a green dot for each kill automatically. You don't have to do anything. You can remove the ground kill if you make a mistake, and it'll take it back out. Same for kills. Then you can also have line out, which line out is going to put this stripe down here to get your guys out of there. So you got line outs for kills, serious wounds, which are when you're doing a kill or a serious wound, you'll want to go ahead and select all the boxes all the way down to the bottom and say he was out for a KIA. And the other thing about this is it's going to strike out the name in the name section. So if he KIAs, it's going to knock all. Oops, I'm an idiot. It is going to line out KIA. There we go. And then you'll have a line out, a strikeout, so to make your easily remember who's out for that. That's the whole next line for each date. If a guy gets KIA, it's going to strike his name out. As you see, automatically strikes him out up there. Now, I don't want him struck out, so I'm going to recover him, and I'm going to reset that cell. Don't recommend using this cleanup unless you're done with the whole darn thing. Next up, reset, which will just reset that cell. It will reset everything, so make sure you really want to do that. Notes for this is the drop down. This is all I have right now. BOL, BOLL, BOS, AAA, and NAVB. Use them as you want. And I also have enter notes, so you can put your own little short note in there. Statuses. I forgot to go into depth on them. I have MIA, light wound, serious wound, KIA, rescued, insignificant injury, illness, and captured. Those are all the different statuses I could find. They've all got a different thing in there. I use the serious wound and KIA for serious wounds and KIAs only. I will probably use a KIA strike for anybody captured because basically they're gone for the rest of the game. Also, it's either SW or KIA. There's really no rhyme or reason to them. Just put a strikeout down through the rest of them as I showed you earlier. Light wounds, just select how many cells you need and strike them out as a light wound. Do that, and let's go down to cap assigned. This is where you're going to assign C for cap, A for air, L for land, S for sea, and SR for search and rescue. That puts that little letter over there in the left corner. And crashed. Crashed will give you landing or takeoff crashed. And you'll use that a lot in this game. Recover pilot's going to take the strike out of the name. Pilot name up here, all you do is put the pilot name in. You can reset each one if you want. I don't recommend doing it, but once you put the pilot name in, you really don't need to touch up there. And that is it, basically it for all the logs. I just got the Flight 300 arrived, so I've just put names in there, but I don't put names in until they arrive. Just kind of make it easier for me to see who is available and who isn't at a glance. So that's it. My module also has an extension for the charts. So if you see me recording this at any point in time and you see charts in there, yours is not broken. I just will not give away a free game. And I do that for my ease. And charts will not be distributed. These guys spend a lot of time and effort on putting these games together, and I do not encourage people trying to get a free game out of it in any way, shape, or form. So um, that's my rant. So there you have it. I like to showcase the art, so I've done my, I guess it's my signature now, is putting the rounded corners and a little bit of 3D lighting, etc. in there. It's pretty simple for me to do. I just use not macros, scripts to run all that stuff anymore. Once I make a script up, it makes it semi-easy. But I'd rather put the effort into the artwork because it's the least I can do with the effort that's put into the original artwork. As you see, most of them turned out. These are really like the way they turned out. The ships. Let me bring them out real quick. Battleship. Look at that. And this is at 100%. Transports, dual transports, destroyers. I think I got all the counters in there. Cruiser. Really cool. Like I said, that's what I'm glad I did that. Because single hits take out a land issue. When you get into ships, you got hits. I have the hits all set up to be automatics. As you see down here, the status will start showing up. And actually, if you're going after one, you want to put a single ship in there before you start doing this, and then add another single ship in. So he would be hit, and you get 5 hits if I'm not mistaken. Dead in water for the 4th, and sunk in the 5th. Battleship, you'd have to go all the way up. As you say, it takes quite a while to go ahead and get the battleship damaged enough. But all these hits count, and as per Clifton, you can request from Clifton. You can go ahead and put VP earned on each one of these, just to help you tally your. Oops. Um, as you'll see, that shows up right there. Help you tally your VPs at the end of the mission. And these, because I don't have a whole lot of um, controls to work with, you'll have to spread them out if you run into that. And then once you're done with the battle, you can go ahead, clean up, and it takes everything off of there. Just make sure you're done with it before you do that, or you know where the undo button is. That, my friends, is the latest in the MAG-23 um, VASSAL module. This is going to be version 1.1. I already put 1.1 up, but I had, of course, made some changes a little bit, and I'm going to add this video to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put an updated version onto VASSAL module page today. Give it a day or two, probably by the 28th or 29th of June. That will be live. Thanks everybody for joining me. This is MAG-23 by Historic Wings, designed by Thomas Van Hare. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe if you like this, and we will talk to you guys next time. Have a good night.